Do you want to talk to people a little bit about how we came to put this call together?
I would love to talk about that, but I've really got no idea. And that was part of the fun and the joy of it, you know, like it was just sort of like, do you want to do a call? Yeah, sure. Okay. What are we going to do about joy, seriousness, business? Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Who am I doing it with? You and who else? Julie. Okay, who's Julie? Oh, Julie. Oh, cool. How does it get any better than this? And that's basically how it was created. Quick, easy, fun, joyful, put together in what? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was really quick. Yeah, it was interesting because I just kind of like had a desire. I was like, ooh, I want to get out there and do some video work and something that would be super fresh. Oh, there's Julie. She's on. I'm gonna unmute her right now.
Cool.
Yay, Julie.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hello.
How you
Hello.
going?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yep, I can see you now. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Hi guys. Big smiles. And I've got my hat.
You've got your hat. I've got my hat.
Oh, I got my sunglasses.
That's a nice hat. Where'd you get that? It's like a Dr. Seuss hat. I like it.
Well, it's when I do kids yoga for kids.
Oh.
So we dress up.
Nice. How much better does it get? So, Liam, you just started and you talked to him a little bit about how we put this together. Could you tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what your targets are in business?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name's Liam Phillips. I'm an infinite being. And my target is to infest the planet with consciousness and the most joyful way that I can possibly be.
What about you, Julie?
Well, my target is to have fun and joy. And get joy. Just joy in business and joy in everything you do. And just to have that fun. That's my targets.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Thank you, Julie. Yeah. You know, I just realized what I actually would like to create here on the planet for myself and others, and a lot of it had to do with I had no idea what I really wanted to create for me, and I'd kind of left myself out of the loop, you know, not very smart. And what I like to do is help people use laughter to actually change the whatever it is that's going on in their life that's not working, right? And inside of that, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks. And the biggest part of that for me is being funny is really easy for me. And I don't think it's easy for everybody. You know what I mean? Some people are just so not funny. Yeah. So let's bring it all back to the actual content of the call. So welcome, everyone. This call is on joy and seriousness. And which one are you choosing to create your future from? Right? And, I mean, honestly, if we do a little history check, there hasn't been any other way to actually create a business from any other source unless you owned a circus, right? So if you owned a circus in the last 10 or 15 lifetimes, you may have had pretty good luck at creating something from joy. I believe circus owners are a very small percentage of people who have been successful business owners. Guys, am I right? Am I right?
I can only comment on successful business owners in the circus industry from a Hollywood point of view. Haven't seen a lot of joy in any of those movies.
Exactly.
So, guys, what, like Matt, what does joy mean to you in business?
Well, I think I'll answer that at just what does joy mean? And then,
Yeah.
so joy is like this space for me where everything that's going on around me, none of it is bigger than me from the standpoint that I'm allowing it to affect me. You know, if I'm standing in front of 5,000 people, or I'm standing in front of 50 people doing whatever presentation or work I'm doing, there can be a lot of different varieties of energies and things going on where you can just like have kind of fall into the feeling space. You're just like, oh my God, I feel so unusual things. I choose it. And I just say, Joy, it's time to turn yourself on, and I'm here to receive you. And it happens. It's just like there. You just choose it. Now, inside of business, you know, I've been a successful owner, I'll call it successful, of at least a half a dozen businesses over the last 20 years. And the points where they were really successful were really the points where I allowed myself to let go and just be in the joy factor of what I was creating. Because I could never really create something that wasn't playful and joyful and included me. My body was really key in all of my previous businesses too. So did that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. What about you, Julie? What does joy mean to you in business and in your life?
Joy means to me is choosing what really truly makes me happy. Being the energy of, like I say, no limitation. Like just, you know, just seeing everything as a big game. And just being happy and looking at the possibilities, never looking at what can't be done, what can be done. That's, for me, it's joy, and just having more and more and more, and the more I get, the more joyful I get.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what joy means to me, and being in that space of just expansion. So just where there's no limitations.
Yeah, no limitations, so key. Yeah, what does it take for you to be in a no limitation space? Well, actually, my question would be, is there always limitations around you when you're
Well,
in business?
can we talk a little bit about the access tools? Because using some of the access consciousness tools, I've been really starting to see where I have used other people's judgments and my own judgments to limit me, put limitations. So now, using a lot of the access consciousness tools, I'm starting to pock and pod all the limitations that I do have in my business and around me. And I really did not acknowledge how many limitations, how many judgments I had about myself. That since I've been using these access tools, wow, all these judgments that I didn't even know that I did know, but I didn't even have that awareness I was using all these judgments on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Half the time, just this energy of judgment,
Yeah.
judgment. Liam, could you tell us a little bit about what judgment is in a business, in a creationary business space?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that in a different way. Of course, because I'm different. So joy has this sense of peace to it, you know, like, and a sense of expansiveness. Patience is that when you come up to a limitation, there's this contractedness, and then you seem to go into like other people's realities, and it starts to get really heavy, and it starts to make it very difficult to make choices or decisions, and everything starts to, as you were doing before, you did that so well. I don't know how you did that. Everything becomes really slow and very, very difficult to create anything joyfully. So what was your question?
The question I was asking was, yeah, oh yeah, right. I was asking about how do you see judgment, how does judgment play a role in the creation of business from joyful space?
Well, you're speaking like an alien right now, so I did hear how about in business. And one of the things, actually years ago, I was asked by Simone Molasses to be worldwide coordinator of Joy of Business, and it came out of left field. I went, oh, really? Oh, okay. I just chose it there on the spot because it felt nice and light. There was no judgment around that, and I'm sure everybody recognises the energy of judgment. There's two polarities of judgment. One is the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, the positive, the negative. And what we tend to do in business, or what we've been taught in business, is to get it right and to avoid the wrongness. And so when we're always looking at getting it right, or avoiding the wrongness, so it's getting it right comes down to the balance sheet on a lot of businesses, and that's getting it right is getting the money in, getting the people on seats, all these sorts of things, making the sale. And avoiding getting it wrong is not spending too much, not hiring crap people, and all of these sorts of things. And so if you're functioning from that point of view of judgment within your business, then you're always setting yourself up for competition within yourself and for confrontation with yourself and with your staff and with your clients. And it's not an invitation to a creative, generative, joyful energy. Oh my God, that sounds very serious.
Right? No, that's good.
That was great,
Yeah.
Liam.
No,
That was
really,
great. That was
kind of
awesome. You just hit it
Yeah.
out of the park.
Oh,
Yeah, so when I'm looking at judgment, it's anywhere I'm saying in a business environment, I'm looking at it, it's like I start out from the standpoint and I'm like, this is how it's going to look, this is how it's going to be. And if I start out with that, if I had started out that way with my Conscious Adventure Tours company that I started 2 years ago, it would have never lasted. It would have been dead in the dirt, never even gotten off the runway. And the reason is I kept getting rid of all my projections and judgments of it as such so that it could actually turn into something that I wasn't aware of yet, which has just happened recently, by the way, so it's been really exciting. And it's something I would have, in my wildest of dreams, have chosen, you know, as far as giving a new pathway to this company to follow. But by not having all these judgments of this is how it's going to be, it made it so much more easy for it to come into its own fruition in a way that, you know, was fun and joyful. Now, if I'd been really serious about it through my whole path, which I was for the first year and a half, I'm like, this is how it's going to look, this is what it's for, here's the target audience, and here's the niche, or niche, niche, whichever one you like. Niche, niche, or niece.
oh, Nietzsche.
Niece. I love my niece. She's so cute. And if I had stayed with my guns on that it would have continued to just hold it in this little contracted place, like Lehman had mentioned, every time you have a judgment about something. Now, judgment, by Websterish type definition, is any time you say something about something else. It's this really powerful capacity we have to limit and shape things into a density of energy. So when I'm in the joy space with my business, what I like to ask is, oh, well, how much do I want to shape, limit, and create density and form and structure in my business? And how much would I like it just to be coming alive, playing, interacting with all kinds of new possibilities while still being a source of money, play, and joy? So it's really working with your business from a place of question also.
I was going to say that. So you ask questions with your business.
I do. I kind of like talk to it most of the time like it's my kid or my parent, whichever day it happens to be. You know.
So guys, I know like with my businesses, they're like a light bulb. So, you know, like you're saying, you talk to them like your kid. I just talk to, just like I would talk to you guys. So I talk to my business every day, ask what it would like from me. I ask what I would like from my business. Do you ask questions like that?
Can you repeat that last part, Julie?
Do you ask questions like, what would you like from me to your business? Do you ask your business what it would like from you, what it could contribute to you? Like, what kind of questions do you ask your business?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a great question too, all on its own. It took me a while to kind of understand and start talking to something that was seemingly intangible, but a business actually has a personality and an entity, as it will, of its own. And what I started to ask from it, it was like, hey, well, what do you know that I don't know? What would you like to do today? What would you like me to receive from you? What do you want me to hear from you that you know is going to create more of the business? And then I just kind of sit back and, you know, chill and let go. And I don't know if you've ever had those odd Wednesday afternoons at 2:30 in the afternoon. We were just like, oh, why didn't I think of that? You know, and something just pops into your head. Has that happened for you guys before?
Mm-hmm. Not just on Wednesday, though.
Well, I get that. Well,
That's my whole living, guys. Things are popping in, like popping.
Exactly. Yeah, so often that's how my business will talk to me. It'll talk to me when I'm not paying attention, when I'm having a good time, when I'm in the joy space and I'm just having a really appreciative and or grateful, generative moment. Maybe I'm enjoying the sun, having a cup of tea, whatever it is. That's when I have those aha moments. And that's also, as I've, you know, like any relationship, you'll learn to know the signature of that person or that business. I've learned to know the signature of Conscious Adventure Tours, and an idea may show up, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Okay, yeah, I'll jump right on that. Then maybe it's call someone or do something or add something.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So, Matt, do you have like a language of business? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes, the language of business.
Or a
Yeah.
language for your specific business, like Conscious Adventure Tours, or your bars business, or your photographic business? Do they all have different languages that they speak, or different vibrations?
Yes, they do. Great question, man.
Yeah, great question.
It's almost like they have different voices and personalities, and they do have very different ways of being. No different than, I mean, how many of you guys have, you know, a couple of really good friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other
Right,
people
right.
out there that are on this call too, not just the three of us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And how different are all your friends? You know, really different or not very different at all? they've all got like a signature personality, right? They all like
Mhm.
do things very differently. And so, bringing it back to your question, Lee, my businesses, like my photography business, it's really playful when it talks to me. It's just like colorful and flitting. And if I'm out like appreciating nature or, the shape of someone's face or the shadows and the contrast of, framing it up and looking at a picture, that's when I get those hits from my photography business. And when I'm talking to Conscious Adventure Tours, it's like a little bit more of the excitement of body, adrenaline, and excitement and movement, and mountain bikes, and all that kind of stuff. And it'll talk to me in that space. So they're very different, just like your friends can be.
What's really interesting, and I think it's probably the same for Julie as well, is that you guys are not talking about one business. Like, have you both, are you both multiple orgasmic businesses?
Yeah. I have 5 to 6 businesses. Yeah. And they all have different vibrations.
So, could I say then? Could I make a joke? Like, business, you need to be like a bit of a slut if you're going to have lots of businesses.
Well, how much joy can you be to being a slut?
Yeah. Yeah, that the question you pointing out that piece around businesses and just having one business. There's something involved with having more than one business at the same time for me that if I don't, it's kind of like I get bored, and if I get bored, the generation of that business kind of falls flat. It no longer has all the excitement. The battery goes flat on it. So I've always, over the last 20 years, I've always had at least 2 businesses, and 3 seem to be a really nice place to be also.
Yeah, I get very bored. If I'm not having at least 10 projects, I notice that I create a lot of well, I'm going to say it, a lot of shit in my life. That's when I start, creating a lot of judgment about myself. I start getting quite heavily invested in the outcomes and start creating chaos in a way that isn't creation, with me. So when I'm having lots of different projects and surrounding people who's really asking to create more too. Have that energy, of joyful, because seriousness, I do find seriousness is the way a lot of people are choosing how to do business in this reality. But the way I'm choosing is, the joyful, and the more that I have on my plate, the more I create.
Oh, I like that. The more you have on your plate, the more you create.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Can I actually use that? Is
Oh,
there
you can use that. Wow, guys. Yeah, cool. Go for it.
Nice. I love it.
On your plate, you can create.
Cool. Well, shall we talk about seriousness?
Okay.
Do we have to?
Yeah, right?
Actually, I think it's relevant to talk about seriousness because when you look at joy and seriousness, if we do it from, like joy is right and serious is wrong, then we're already starting to go into that judgment thing.
Mm.
Scales of balance, and your business is gonna actually attract some serious people, and if you're not willing to receive them, how are you gonna make your money? Because in this planet, what is the basic currency? Joy or seriousness and significance?
In this reality, you're
In this
talking about
reality, it's the
in
second
this.
one. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
are
for
we
me,
creating something different?
we're creating something different. But if you're creating from a joyful space, you've got to be willing to receive from serious people as well. And for me, I like to ask a question. Sorry, guys. I,
Yeah, I was
um,
going to say, what would that be like to
yeah,
receive?
I'm just doing the psychic mix. So for me, it's like I ask that question. Okay, so how can I use this person's seriousness to my advantage?
Cool question.
Right. And if you're actually receiving them, because you need to actually receive that person in totality as they are to have them be an advantage to you? And is there any way for that not to be an advantage to them too? Because, I mean, face it, we all work off of role models, and that's how we see. And Liam, you brought up a really key point. It's like if you make it one of them right and one of them wrong, you're going to kind of lock yourself into a similar space where it's not generative for your business or you either. So, I spent 18 years as a Microsoft engineer, so there wasn't a lot of playfulness in that.
Mm-hmm.
Although always being on the phone and doing tech support and everything, I was always steeped in the playfulness because I'd hear this other person on the other end of the phone and I'd be like, "How are you feeling today? Would you like some technical support?" I'm a little bit of a comic that way, and never ends. That completely changes the candor and the playfulness and the quality of the conversation. So even though it was a serious content, I'd immediately interject a playfulness into it so it could be an enjoyable, serious content. And I think most people, I may be projecting this, think serious means hard work and not fun. What do you guys know that?
Yeah, I agree that that's probably what most people's point of view about seriousness is. From this reality's point of view, things that are serious are things like disease and death and your internet connection not working properly.
Oh my God, it's so serious.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've got a question to go back a little bit. So what is receiving? I'm hearing us talk about receiving. So if people are new to anything to this, what is receiving?
Liam, what's receiving to you?
What's receiving to me is the opposite of giving. Oh, my glasses just fell off. Receiving for me it's got this element of joy and peace in it as well. I remember the first time that I came across it when I had my bars run, and I was lying there, and I didn't have to do anything. And I think that's one of the things, like with giving, there's always this do component, like you've got to give somebody some money, you've got to give somebody your time, you've got to give them your point of view, you've got to give them your judgment. And with receiving, it's just like all your barriers go down, and you can be totally relaxed, joyful, peace, and ease, and then things just start to whisper to you, like the molecules of your business, in this case, if we're talking about business, or the molecules of your body if you're looking at changing something with your body, or molecules of money if you're wanting to receive money. And I guess that's more of what I'm looking at, that sense of receiving, when somebody asks me a question like that. What's your take on it, guys?
My take on receiving is not resisting or not reacting to anything, and not aligning and agreeing with anything, just being in full allowance of what's occurring, and just receiving everything, all the energies. Like that's how, you know, I see receiving is about. And not having a judgment on it. Truly not having a judgment. Good or
Yeah.
bad. Right or wrong. Just receiving the whole energy on it.
Mm-hmm. And if there's anybody on the call here that hasn't, we do have a little bit of lingo that's a little particular to access consciousness. So just to get a simplification on judgment, judgment's really anywhere where you have an opinion or you've decided something, that's the only way it can be, and you're not willing to change it. Or, you know, maybe you didn't even know that the sun doesn't have to come up tomorrow, but you just did along with 50,000 other people. You guys in the back? Okay, good. All right, well, I'm going to take it that I still have an operating connection here, and we'll find out if I do shortly. So, can you guys hear me?
I
We
can hear
can.
you.
Okay, good. All right, awesome. Yeah, so getting to the juicy bits about this, what are the qualities? What's different for you guys when you're in more of a play and joy space with your business, qualitatively speaking, next to when you're in a serious and let's get her done space? What's the qualitative difference for you guys?
Really, you go first, honey. Ladies first.
Thank you. Well, the elements or quantities, I would say when I'm in a joyful, things start to show up a lot more easy, just like magic. It's more, the joyful energy is a very expansive, yeah, it's just easy, it's just quite easy to create from joyful. So I just, yeah, for me, just things starts to just show up, keep showing up, keep showing up. So each time I ask for something, more shows up.
What about you, Liam?
Yeah. Julie it was interesting. Julie was talking about quantities there, and I'm going to talk about the qualities.
Okay.
And the qualities for me is a very subtle difference, because sometimes, like, I still do create from seriousness, and I still do create from force. And I think the thing is that I don't make myself wrong for it if I do. It's a little bit like relationship, you know, like if your woman asks you to take out the rubbish and you don't do it, you can, you know, if you don't do it, you don't have to beat yourself up about not doing it. So for me, the quality between it is, no, not between it. The quality here is always not being judgmental, whether I'm doing it from force or whether I'm doing it from ease and invitation. For me, it's always about what is actually going to work here. Maybe I'm going a little bit too in depth for the beginner's cool. But the thing is, it's sort of like consciousness includes everything, yeah, and
Yep.
judges nothing.
I think.
And I dare anybody to take that and play with it and see if you can make that wrong or right. I've done it, I've tried it, and I can't make that wrong or right. So for me, it's like seriousness and joy and the qualities of both, and how can I use that without being judgmental to create what it is that I'm looking at creating.
So,
Yeah.
so are you saying that we can actually look and use joy and serious when it works for both? It works. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I could be. I don't know. I've lost the plot.
How cool! So it's not either or.
Yeah, and that's the
Ah,
thing. If you go into either or reality, then you have to go into some sort of judgment, and then you'll come out of joy. Have you got any better than that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how cool! How cool! See, it's like you can play with any energy.
Yeah, like if
Right.
you're going to be serious, be really serious for
Yes.
10 seconds. Come on, do
Yeah.
it. Serious. I've never seen Matt be serious. Oh, yes, I have, actually.
And I was like, wow, these guys are really doing it. So should we give everybody a few little 1, 2, 3 ideas that they can take home and start using right away and apply to their businesses that for joy and seriousness?
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, let's
idea.
get content here because I know you guys have a tremendous amount of like real world content that people can use around this. Julie, where would you start? If you were to give a kid
Well,
an idea about how to use joy with his business.
Well, the tool I would use is 10 seconds choices. Like, asking, do I choose joy or do I choose seriousness?
Yeah. So questions and taking things in small bites, if you would. 10 seconds.
Yeah. And then you start, like for me, by choosing every 10 seconds, using this tool has really got me to see that I've got choice. So before I ever used this tool, I always thought I didn't have choice. I thought that my life was the way it was because it was just the way it was. By using the 10-second choices, it got me to start asking question and being in the question, but it got me to really, just be aware that I had choice. I had a choice in my business.
That's
Everything. Yeah.
yeah. I noticed that too. It's like the 10-second rule that you're talking about. For me, the way it applies is it's really there so that I don't make one choice to rule them all, decide how the business is going to be, and then just put it on the shelf and expect it's going to keep working, because energy of your business is inevitably going to go stale if you do that. So if you're continually making new choices, bringing your awareness back to your business, it will, it has to grow. It just has to happen. So it's just like a thing you have to train yourself to do differently. Thank you very much. That's a great one.
I love that. And you're saying train, in train yourself. It's like a muscle. The more you use this muscle, then you be it.
Right?
You be it. Yeah.
Julie, that's the first thing I noticed when I met you was your big muscles.
Oh.
Big business. Can you guys imagine being in a boardroom of 20, millionaire or better personalities where they're actually embodying the energy of playfulness and laughter, and what it would create for the world and how it would change it? I mean, would that be awesome?
Yeah. Who wants to be on one of those boards?
Yeah.
Like, what if here's a question. What if everybody that's watching this, what if that was all one of our targets for each of us to be one of those millionaires on a board that was injecting some joy and happiness into business? Like,
How would that
we've got,
change the entire, ecosystem of business, like on a planetary level?
We have Mr. Terminator.
Yeah. Mr. Terminator's gone walkabouts. So just let me add a little bit in there while Matt's getting back online with regards to the 10-second increment. And the 10-second increments, when I first came across them, I thought it was like, oh my God, you know, this is like living in the now. But as I started to use that tool of 10 seconds, I started to recognize it's actually about choice. It's not about a time thing. And like, how many of us are not making choices that if we did make those choices, it would totally change the energy of what's going on in our business or our life or our body.
Yeah, well, for me, with these 10 seconds choices, it really got me to be able to look at where I haven't been choosing and where I've been waiting for things. So yeah, it was, you know, choice.
Choice. You choosy big muscle business owner. Okay. Hey, let's see. If I were to give a new business owner a tool they could use, or just a different point of view that was a joyful one, I would probably say gratitude. And gratitude kind of coming from, let's see, does everyone know the term hedonistic? I think for the most part, it has kind of a bad rap. It thinks, paganistic people doing, way over the top stuff, or having big sex orgies or something weird. But the reality of hedonism means to be a pleasure seeker, to enjoy the pleasure of life. So what if your business had a hedonistic quality to it that was actually generated gratitude, or the gratitude generated a hedonistic quality? Wow, how could we do that? Either way, that in itself totally changes the dynamic when you're working. That whole stint that most people have about work, if they were in a space of gratitude and just say, oh, what am I grateful for today? How much pleasure could I receive just sitting in this chair, being me wherever I'm at? Totally changes it. Then your business wants to play with you. It wants to get in, it wants to know how it's going to get more in your space. And when you're receiving pleasure, the pleasure of just being you or being around other people, which is the same thing as being grateful for things, you receive a tremendous amount more. Like the communication from the world and the whispers of life all around you. You'll be able to hear much more, and you don't miss it. Like Julie was saying, it's like, oh, things are just popping and everything's just dropping right into your world all the time. That's when you're in that space of gratitude, because gratitude also pushes all your barriers down. And I don't think we all even know how much we use our barriers as a way to stay serious and not allow our businesses to continue to evolve. So my piece would be gratitude in a hedonistic way.
Very nice.
Yummy.
Yeah, right? All right. Liam, have you got another one for us? What's something we can... part 3 here.
One of the things that's been coming up, I was waiting for you to ask me that question, because whilst you were talking, I recognized that I wasn't being present because I was thinking of the tool to talk about. And like, oh my God, how many of us are actually thinking about what we're going to be doing later on, rather than being in that 10-second increment of choosing right now. So I dropped that. I lowered my barriers, and I just went, okay, cool. I'm not going to think about this, and this is happening in microseconds. I'm just going to wait for Matt to ask me, or Julie to ask me that question, and then I talk from the space that the question opens up. And so for me, that is the tool that I'd like to give to everybody right now, is that tool of question. Because if you're willing to be in the space of question without going into the future or going into the past or trying to think your way out of it, then you'll be totally present with the energy, and you'll be totally present with the space of your business, and then you can actually receive it in a totally different way. And the other part of that is that it works with the 10 seconds that Julie was talking about, and it works with the gratitude and the hedonistic point of view that Matt's talking about, and it takes it all and does that.
Yeah, the magic.
It actually connects. It actually connects. I think the guy in the wheelchair, Stephen Hawking, calls it the string theory. In Access, we call it the quantum entanglements. And as you use these tools in conjunction with each other, it creates this spider's web, if you like, of connections that go out to all the people that are looking for your business, all the people that are looking for your products, and starts to invite those people to follow those threads to you and to your products. Some people call it the World Wide Web, and if you're willing to use those tools in the same way that the energetic tools on the web, then you can use this reality's points of view about the web, but from an energetic point of view. Oh my God, I'm talking too much. Pardon me.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Ah, that was awesome. You go. Another hit out of the park.
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
We're firing, guys. We're firing.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Awesome. So where do you start from here, folks? How do you actually step into something that would create joy? Well, the first thing, as Julie brought to the table, just choose something different and try it for 10 seconds. And as you do that, see what you're grateful for, from my point of view. Find some hedonistic receiving of the pleasure of gratitude for the people and the places you're with. And Liam, since my feed dropped out for about 22 seconds during the most important part, could you tell them the number 3 again?
Number 3 is being the space of the question and not being the answer that you're trying to think about, that you've already decided will work. Yeah.
Yeah, what Liam said. That's number 3. Being in the energy of So, I hope everyone on this call has had just like there's some bits and pieces they can take home and start using right away. Do you guys have any other stuff that you'd like to, contribute to everyone that was hot in the background that you wanted to say?
Well, is there anyone on the call that would like to ask us questions?
Oh yeah, questions. Those are cool. I forgot about that part. Okay, if there's anybody out there who has questions, we would love to answer them now. If you look on the right-hand side of your webinar browser or your Google Hangout, you will see the chat window. I'll light it up for you here.
So my question and answers are saying it's disabled. So do I need to right-click on something? So then I can see the questions, guys?
There's just a login piece there. There's no questions quite yet.
Ah, okay.
We have Karen, Jeff, Julie Hayes, and Manjit, and Debbie Verdonk. No, Verdonk. Okay. And Yvonne? There's several people.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if any ask questions, now's the time to start asking them.
Yeah, and they don't have to be questions that are, like very esoteric. Like ask a question, like, how do I do this? And how do I get more people to my website.
Okay. I'm gonna invite Jeff. We have Jeffrey Ruffino on the webcast, and he is here to ask some questions. Welcome, Jeffrey.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Jeffrey. We can hear you. Well, I can hear you.
Hey guys, really cool seminar. I'm only just going to be 20 seconds. I just want to thank everyone. That was really awesome. It's really opened me up to a few different ways of thinking. I'd like to see where this takes me. What's the next step here? What are you guys doing for the next seminar and stuff like that?
We're looking to put together a 3-part webinar that we're going to do over every other week and give people homework to take home, especially if maybe you're not familiar with some of the our core tools, which is the Access Consciousness tools. We'll be putting more information on here for that for our next webinar, and it's going to be a little bit more interactive. Just as you saw Jeffrey got on, you'll actually be able to join in, and we're going to have some questionnaires we're going to send out ahead of time so that you can actually have some content to look at if you want to join and actually interact live with our call, our 3-part telecall.
Mm-hmm.
And Liam and Julie, you had a couple things. You want to add anything, a couple things in on what else we'll be doing in that?
More the same as you're saying, Matt. Just being really interactive with the people that would like to join us for the the webinars about joyful and seriousness, and coming up and working with the tools. And I know I've brought it up so many times, is Access Consciousness tools. These are the tools that I use in every area of my life. And guys, like these tools in the last 18 months have really changed my life, changed the way I just be and am, and it's just amazing. So and so for me, they're so pragmatic. And so they're easy to use. They're just like a muscle, just build them. So yeah, so let's bring the tools on and see what, if you choose to use these tools, see what you like to change in your business or even in your life with joy and seriousness.
Joy and seriousness, yeah. Yeah, and the Access tools, they are tools that all 3 of us have chosen because they're non-denominational. They'll change anything that's not working, and you can apply them to whatever you're working with.
So one of the things like I would like to invite you guys to is that's it, an invitation to you.
Yeah.
Like Matt was talking about these tools not being non-denominational. Like we've got bunches of tools that we can use, and we'd like to give them to you and find out what works for you. Like if one tool's working for someone else, it's not working for you, maybe we can find something that can work for you. And that's part of you interacting with us, is that we can tailor-make this so it really fits you and your business and can create a different possibility for you and your business. That's one of the points of difference that this is this is not a one glove fits all. We want to help you create what you want to create.
So thank you so much for being on the call, and look forward to giving you guys some tools on our upcoming 3-part series. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Liam. You guys rock out with your clocks out.
And thank you, everyone who was on the call too. It was just been awesome, guys. Just awesome.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.